What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to be trying to make the entirety of Garten of BanBan 1. Now, here it is, I guess. I mean, there's not really a ton to say. Uh, I do not have any plans currently to make the other games. However, I'm sure eventually it'll happen. Although I, again, cannot really make any promises currently. So, yeah, but if I do, I will make some sort of announcement at some point. I'll just peek in here. There we go. And, yeah, I will talk about the spacing that you need. This one actually has a grid on, like, Poppy Playtime, and also the amount of space down from said grid, because you cannot build this one on the floor again as of this pit of death, which, I really wish had a further explanation. That clause is just the same, by the way. But I really wish there was some sort of explanation as to why there's a giant death pit. And how deep would you need a ball pit? Because realistically, you're not going to float on plastic balls like that. You're going to sink to the bottom and never be able to climb out. Which is actually a horrifying thought now that I'm thinking about it. Anyway, with that being said, enjoy the tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side. Alrighty, so the space needing for this is a... Oh, hold on, I need to give my other account some sort of terms. Is a 62 by 84. And the materials you will be needing to start off are, give me like 2 seconds, okay. Open the inventory. White concrete, spruce planks, prismarine bricks, smooth quartz slabs, sea lanterns, dark oak doors, polished black stone stairs, and what will we go with? That's a really good question. Let's call it the bamboo trapdoors and the warped trapdoors. So if you start from the front left-hand corner of your 62 by 84 grid, cough, cough, if you made it, I really already forgot this number. Okay, you want to start by counting right by 8 and back by 1 and place a white concrete right here. Side note, you need 26 blocks of space underneath this white concrete for the build to work the way that I have it. You could arguably sacrifice a few of those, but I have the grid sitting on exactly Y0, so this block is on Y1. I mean, it doesn't matter. Just, you know, at least have 26 below, and really it's like 20 above. It's not that many. It's mainly for the light blue concrete room anyway. Yeah, I mean, 20 would give you more than enough space, so just... Don't build this above, like, Y300, really. So from this white concrete, you want to go right, and you want to place 5 prismarine bricks, a white concrete, then in the floor to the right of that, so 1 block below what you're placing, you will place 4 spruce planks, and then back up a block to the right, a white concrete, 5 prismarine bricks, and then a white concrete. You will bring that white concrete on the right that you just placed back by 14. And on the left, you can also actually bring it back by 14. Nice, that lines up, I guess. On the left here, you'll leave a gap of 2 where you will place spruce planks in the floor, and then place 3 white concrete beyond that. On the opposite side, you're doing 4 spruce planks in the floor and then 1 white concrete beyond. So, on the right side here, this entire like white concrete wall, including that 1 block at the back, you'll just bring right a row to double layer it. Which I guess will include the spruce planks if you feel like it. It doesn't really matter. You'll then take the backmost white concrete on both the left and the right and bring it in by 7. And then go forward by 1, like so. We'll lay out this little closet here on the left, and then we'll fill in the floor. I guess that's a fair point to start. You will take the back left-hand corner of the room we just made, and you will bring this white concrete left by 6. And then go forward by 4. Place 2 spruce planks in the floor. White concrete in front of that that's not in the floor. And then you'll extend it to the right by 5, which should connect back into your wall. Fill in the floor here in with spruce planks. Again, just making sure that you're 1 block below the white concrete. And I guess the rest of the walls ain't in line with the other spruce planks. Hopefully everyone is having a good day or night. I am for the most part. It's a little early, so I'm a little tired. But other than that, I guess it's been an average day. Well, you know the drill. Spirit moment later. Hence why I'm recording this earlier. We're just getting part of this done. I don't expect to do the whole, like, 2.5 hours, but by the end of it, you'll have to see how on point I was with that. I'm kind of curious. I feel, well, reasonably, rooms usually take me, like, 30 minutes, so it's probably going to be, we'll call this whole front thing, like, 40. That's probably an hour on its own. I mean, yeah, 2.5 doesn't seem too far off. Maybe this little room. Anyway, you'll have a floor that you can walk on. That's usually good. So, I'm gonna word this kind of weirdly, and you'll see why. Well, actually, no, I won't. I'll just tell you the numbers. You want to bring each white concrete up by 4. That's not 4. There we go. Each prismarine brick can be brought up with 2 prismarine bricks and then 2 white concrete, and that's pretty much all you're focusing on right now. The doorways are mostly different, so just kind of ignore them for right now. But we'll go back in a second and get those sorted out. Oh my goodness. I don't know why I'm yawning. I guess because I'm tired and it's early. It's like, it's 10:18 currently, which I guess isn't that early, but, you know, with all things considered, that's early to record a video. Considering usually I'm recording videos slightly earlier than stream time, so like 2:30 or 3. I guess 3 is stream time at this point. You know what I mean, it's close enough. Oh my god, almost there. I can't drag out conversation for that long, unfortunately. I can for a little bit, but eventually I run out of topics or brain cells, one of the two. Or I guess both is an option. Anyway, you'll have this. We're kind of just gonna go around, well, the 2 doorways, or I guess the 3 doorways that are 2 blocks wide, you want to connect the top 2 rows of white concrete together above them. That was a weird sentence to try to say, but I got there. In the main room, the 2 by 3s, I guess now, in this room, you'll take the back one and you'll place bamboo trapdoors open up against either side of white concrete. And on the one on the left here, you'll do the same, but with warped trapdoors. Oh my god. Now the front is the other problematic child. You want to place 2 rows of white concrete at the top, I guess again. And then below that, a row of upset unpolished black stone stairs, like so. On the, I guess, front half of the spruce, you're going to place dark oak doors, and you want to have 2 sets of dark oak doors that have the handles facing towards each other. How do you go about placing this, you may ask? I don't really know. I just place all of them and then see the... Okay, yeah, actually, I'd literally just place them left to right and then had to, I guess, do the middle right? Break it and replace it. That worked better than I thought. Usually I have some sort of a problem, but... Good lord, I need to stop. Get rid of... do I want to say white concrete? That's kind of a bold one, but... Get rid of your prismarine bricks, that's less bold. And get out, actually, funnily enough, dark prismarine. And what you want to do is at the right side here where you have the opening into the next room over, you want to go to the right from the back white concrete wall and place 12 dark prismarine. Because numbers are overrated, you literally just want to take this back right dark prismarine and bring it forward and then connect it left into the same front row of the walls as before, like so. Just kind of confirming that that's how that is. Yeah, okay, nice. And you're pretty much just placing 4 additional rows of dark prismarine on top of that original row. And then filling in the floor with spruce planks as well. I almost said dark oak planks for some reason. I don't know where that came from. I'm a little ahead of myself, I guess. Because I know dark oak is used later for the play sets, I believe. Yeah, that room is a little bit dark. Although, to be fair, it gives it a nicer atmosphere. The game is way too bright. Also, I'll probably mention this in the Discord a little bit as well, for those of you who are in the Discord. If you're not, link in the description, you should totally join. But, this is so similar to Chapter 1, and even the way that you move about. Because you start in the main room, obviously, and then you need something from the left room that you end up getting some sort of information or actual thing for in the right room. And then you go back, and then left is the first way you go. And then I'm not going to go into full detail, but, you know, pretty similar pathway. I find that funny. Anyway, you'll have this. You can actually start by just filling in all of the ceiling in with upside down smooth quartz slabs in line with the topper of the walls. We could reasonably, or I could reasonably be like, here's where you don't want to place them, but I'm just going to have you break them instead. Because it's kind of weird. I mean, it's sort of around the outer rim, but it's also not fully around the outer rim. It doesn't make any sense. But I guess neither does anything else, so I really can't be surprised anymore. Oh my god. I was not trying to do that, but sure. And yeah. And then there's sea lanterns embedded in, I guess, up a row from the slabs, and also ones in line with the slabs. So, we'll have to worry about both. And I'll probably start with the trim ones, because those are easier. That's so weird. Why does it do that? Like, that's one of the few times that that's actually helpful, but usually it does it with stairs to me, where it turns upside down stairs into normal stairs when I want upside down stairs. And I'm like, no. I don't know. Bedrock is weird. On so many levels. Yeah, okay. So, for 3 rooms of prep, it'll be like 13 minutes. Actually, probably 15 because of the lights. But we're at 12 right now on actual building. Plus material grabbing, I guess. Ignoring the, like, 2 minutes of intro. Between the 15-second one and the over minute long one. Which I guess would make it a minute and a half, but math is overrated. Anyway, you'll have this. Regardless, this is fairly bright, so you could, technically speaking, leave it as is and have no problems. However, I'm not that guy, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you where you break. So, in this main room, at the front wall where the doors are, you want to break the entire row except for the leftmost 2 and rightmost 2 smooth quartz slabs. I don't know why they're like that, but they are. Along the left side in particular, you will break every single slab except for that front left one. And then you will break from this back one right by 4. Leave this block open, and I guess if you count out one, you'll leave this one, and then you'll break the 4 in front of the doorway. To the other side, you will, or on the right side of the doorway, my god. You'll leave this first slab open, and you'll break every other slab in this row going along the back. You'll then break all the way forward and then left. Whoop. Whoop. And what you can do from here is break pretty much all the way back on this row, but you'll end before the last white concrete. So it'll be on the second to last one like this. And you pretty much want to replicate that on the other side of this double layered wall. Just the only difference is you don't break the first block of the wall either. You'll leave the first and last open on this side. I don't believe the small room has this. Yeah, so from this point, pretty much you can fill a row above the smooth quartz slabs in these gaps with sea lanterns. Side note, if you're in Bedrock, you will probably, and maybe in Java, again, I don't know, you will need to cover these smooth quartz slabs with something. I just used oak planks on the original and did some simple slash filling. So yeah, do keep that in mind. For the entire build. Don't trap yourself out either. I would totally do that, but I don't want to. Actually, I guess there's a door, so never mind then. But you'll have this. It doesn't really look any different. I guess the lighting does look a little bit more warm in a way. But it doesn't really change that much. For the lighting that is in line with the slabs, we'll start off with the aforementioned closet room here to the left, and if you're in the front middle block of it, which is this block, you'll count back by 1 and break the next 3 slabs. And then replace them with sea lanterns. In the middle main room here, you have kind of a weird pattern going on, actually. If you start from the, we'll call it the front left smooth quartz slab, you want to count back by 6. Just make sure I'm in the right spot. Yeah, okay. And then from this block, you'll count right by 2 and break a slab. And then leave a gap of 4, break a slab. Gap of 4, break a slab. It is not centered. You will note that. It's fine, whatever. You'll then break 2 slabs back from each of these. And on the middle one, you'll leave a gap of 1 and then break 3 more. And fill all of this in with sea lanterns, this time again actually in line with the slabs. The room to the right has pretty much 1. It's kind of centered. So, I guess you want to take the row of sea lanterns on the left here, and you want to be on the backmost one, which is this one. You will start by counting right by 5, and then you'll count forward by 3, and break 3 slabs from there and replace them with sea lanterns. And again, that's pretty much, I think, your lighting done. So, as mentioned, on the tops of the slabs, you will want to cover them up. Also, this doorway here on the left, you want to cover up, but not quite perfectly. You're going to essentially go out a block and just, like, trace the rim like this, and then on the next block out, you'll fill it. This is because this is a doorway made of walls, and if you just put it here, you'll notice later when we get the walls in that it looks weird. And also, the doors and stairs need to be blocked off, and I think that's everything. Yeah, do leave this doorway, because obviously that is the next area. So you can clear your inventory, and we're going to start with the closet on the left, because I just feel like going left to right for no particular reason. And you want to get out, polish deep slate walls. Why did I think this door was the pink one? I guess that's later, never mind. Bamboo sign. Beehive. Chiseled bookshelf. The weighted pressure plate, that's the heavy one, aka the iron one. Polished blackstone pressure plate. Why does that look like it's new because of where it's placed? That's weird. Anyway, a piglin head, which is actually kind of new, I guess. At least when I made this originally. So you want to come into the closet on the left, and as mentioned, this white concrete gap here, this is in the doorway, you'll fill with polished deep slate walls. Why was that so hard for me to say? In the back left-hand corner of this room, you'll go forward and place 4 beehives. On top of the backmost one, you'll place a beehive, and in front of that, you'll place a chiseled bookshelf. When you're placing the chiseled bookshelves, make sure, and I guess also the beehives, that the front side is facing towards another block. It doesn't matter as much for the beehives as it does for the chiseled bookshelves because you don't want this part of the bookshelf out. Again, the beehive, it's not a huge deal, but I just try to keep them facing the wall. Anyway, on the row to the right of this, you're going to go front to back and place a chiseled bookshelf, beehive, and then 2 chiseled bookshelves. I just have each of them facing left because I find that easier on all rows. On the frontmost beehive here, you'll place a bamboo sign above it on the wall with just nothing on it. I think this is like a sticky note or something. Anyway, pretty much, because you cannot place a weighted pressure plate on that beehive, you'll place it on the chiseled bookshelf to the right. Well, that's not actually why it's there, but it's my logic and reasoning behind how to explain that spot. From that pressure plate, you'll count back by 1 to this chiseled bookshelf, and to the right of it, you'll place a piglin head facing just directly into the chiseled bookshelf. He's looking at it pretty intently. Front right-hand corner, which is where I'm standing, you'll place a beehive with a piglin head kind of facing diagonally into the corner like this. He's in the timeout chair. I don't know what he's doing, and I'm pretty sure that's this room done. I don't really have any further comments. Let's start with the walls here. If you clear your inventory and get out, a lot of blocks, really. We're going to need a lot of concrete. Although, we'll start with polished deep slate, even though that's not a concrete, but you'll see why. Mangrove sign. Item frame. Yellow concrete. Bamboo sign. Warped sign. We're going to start with all the non-concrete stuff, I suppose. Spruce. I think that's a spruce button. Yeah, that is a spruce button, in fact. And we'll call it lime concrete, I guess, and white wool. That'll start us on the wall pattern. We'll probably end up getting rid of these and then just need to get the lime concrete again because of the way that this works. But it's fine. So, first off, we'll take the polished deep slate, and these are in line, actually. Above, never mind, no they're not. I thought they were in line. What? Well, anyway, on the front wall here, you will take the 2 center blocks here, and specifically, if you're looking at it, it's the left, it's actually the right from the front. You'll break this white concrete and replace it with a polished deep slate. Place a mangrove sign off the front of it with nothing on it. Heading to the doorway here on the back, the one with the bamboo trapdoors, you'll be up diagonally right from it on this white concrete. You'll do the same thing. Break it, place polished deep slate, place mangrove sign off the, I guess, front. Yeah, whatever. The side that's facing you. Oh my god. On either side of this doorway, you'll place warp signs in line with the middle of it, like so. On the white concrete. That was a terrible explanation, but you can see what I mean if I'm explaining terribly. I try my best to make my descriptions clear as to what you're looking at, but sometimes I just don't know how to say words. On the doorway on the left, the warped one, you will place a bamboo sign in front of the top half. I would prefer if you didn't put an apostrophe on it, because I didn't mean to. Below that, you'll place a spruce button. I almost just said sign. I'm in the sign rhythm. I'm in it, you know? Just checking something. Okay, of course that's how that has to work. Whatever, it's fine. That's not a huge problem. It's annoying, but not a problem. So, while we're thinking about it, there's 2 polished deep slates with item frames on them which resemble speakers. They're actually not in the same room. On the right wall here in the main room, you will be back a block from the front wall, and you'll place a polished deep slate on. I guess a top block you can that isn't in line with the but just below the sea lanterns. God, you'll place an item frame off of the side of it. In the front right-hand corner of the dark prismarine room, you'll actually do the exact same thing. You'll count back a block and again place your polished deep slate with item frame. Preferably not a mangrove sign like I accidentally did. Heading back to the main room here, you will be on the front white concrete and count back by 2 and break this one. Place a yellow concrete with a bamboo sign on it and go down a line. On this line, you will type with a capital B, boots, and then an exclamation point. There's like a rack below this that will make later a shelf or something. I, for some reason, thought it was books when I was, like, just scanning it a second ago, but I guess it's boots. Anyway, counting back from that yellow concrete, sorry, by 2, you'll trace it down to the ground. I'm placing a placeholder here so I can just back up, so I can tell you. We're going to call this wall the left and this the right, just so it makes it easier to kind of go about. So in the wall, here's what you want to do. You want to place a lime concrete here. Bring it up by 2. Place another row of 3 to the right of that is shifted up a block. And then right of that that's shifted down a block from that row, which will be the same as the original row. Just right of that, you'll place a row of 3 white wool. And from this point, you can clear your inventory and get out. Red concrete, pink concrete, light blue terracotta, orange terracotta, dark oak planks, I guess, blue concrete, yellow concrete, red concrete, and red terracotta. And just to the right of that row of white wool, you'll place a row of red concrete that's also 3. From the middle of the red, you'll place 2 pink to the right with 1 on top of the rightmost one. Place a light blue terracotta below that row of 2, and then right of each of those top 2 pinks, you'll place orange terracotta. Heading to the back wall, you'll be on the top left-hand white concrete and count down by 1 and place a dark oak plank. Up diagonally right, you'll place a yellow concrete. Trace that yellow straight down and make this white concrete a dark oak plank with a blue concrete above. Count right by 3 and place a dark oak plank here with 2 red concrete above. And then either red concrete can be brought to the left and the right with a red terracotta. And that's like half of it done. From this point, you'll go to the other side of this doorway and then I guess clear your inventory because we can't use any of these blocks until later and you want to get out. Lime concrete, black concrete, smooth quartz blocks, orange terracotta, I guess I lied. Polished blackstone buttons. And we'll get out, I guess, some of what we need over on this other portion, which is orange concrete, white wool, red concrete. I guess we'll go magenta concrete. Why not? We still need... Are we really 1 short? That's crazy. Anyway, bottom left-hand corner of this wall segment here, you'll count right by 1 and going right, break 4 white concrete and replace them with lime. Forgot it wasn't saying break, but oh well. You'll bring the middle 2 limes up by 1 and then up with a black concrete. Surround the black concrete and lime, which includes the top 2 corners, I guess, like so. And then from the top half here, you'll place 3 smooth quartz blocks to the right of each one. Moving around to the other side of this double-layered wall, which will be in the dark prismarine room, you'll be on the... Again, if you're looking at it, it'll be this front left-hand block. You'll count right by 2 and break, and place 2 orange terracotta, my bad. And then you'll place 1 moving up on that right block. Polished blackstone button sticking out of the wall on top of that. And then on each side of the polished blackstone button, again in the wall, you'll place an orange terracotta. Just on the straight edges, not the diagonals. This rightmost orange terracotta can be brought right with 3 smooth quartz blocks, and each of those can be brought up by 1 each. Directing our attention back to the other side of this double-layered wall, you'll still use the left to right logic if you're looking at it. And you'll be not at eye level, but one more up on the left edge and place an orange concrete. Going right, you'll leave a gap of 2 and then place a lime concrete, white wool, red concrete, magenta concrete, and then the next block will be a purple concrete, which you can get rid of your polished blackstone button for. Then an orange concrete, then a black concrete. Starting from the lime on under every other block, you'll place a black concrete, except for under the black, you'll just leave it blank. So you'll have 3, essentially, that you're placing. Like so. And that's the logo that is displayed on the wall. I don't remember if it's... I feel like it's, I don't know if it's the BanBan logo or what it says. It says something or other, I know that much. I just don't remember what. Anyway, now we can actually focus on the interior itself of this room. So if you clear your inventory and get out, spruce trap doors, dark oak slabs, polished blackstone stairs. Wow, this is so basic, it's crazy, actually. Cauldrons, nothing against the game. I'll explain in this why I'm saying that in a second. Warp slabs. Actually, you might just see why I'm saying that. Dark prismarine stairs. Smooth stone. And unless I'm dumb, dark oak signs, and that's literally everything you need for this first room. Which is why I'm saying it's basic, because there's not a lot going on, apparently, as far as materials required. In a Poppy Playtime room, it was like 4 inventories worth for a darn, like, corner. Anyway, in the, ironically, front left-hand corner, you will place moving up from this spruce plank, 3 spruce trap doors opened up against the back half of it. From, not the bottom one, but the top 2, you'll place a dark oak slab behind them, with an upside down dark oak slab, I guess down diagonally back from them, which actually is true this time, yeah. Behind that, you'll place spruce trap doors opened up against them, like so. From the leftmost dark oak door, which is this one, you will be on this spruce plank that is in line with them. You'll count back by 5 and place a cauldron. So it should be in line with the first lime concrete, yes. Just behind this cauldron, I guess left and right, you'll place 4 polished blackstone stairs moving back that will be facing away from each other. Like so. You'll then leave a gap of 1 and place 4 more stairs. And then place a cauldron kind of behind those that are in the middle, like so again. Back diagonally in, sure. From the front right-hand corner of this room, you will start by counting back by 4 and left by 2 and place a warped plank here. You can, I guess, actually get out warped plank since we have the inventory space, but it's too late now for me. You'll then go left by 2 and then back by 5. Bring each warped plank up with a slab. And then in the inside here, you'll place upside on warp slabs from the original planks. On the, ironically, first and last warp slabs on the main row of 5, you'll place smooth stone with a dark oak sign off of what is the right side of them. From this warp slab here that sticks out, you'll go back diagonally right and place a dark prismarine stair facing left. Bam, that's a room done. Nice. Well, 2 rooms done, I guess, if you count the closet. Clear your inventory and get out. Polish deep slate slabs, which we'll also use for blocks. Polish deep slate stairs. Stone stairs. Glass. Nether brick fence. Waxed weathered cut copper slabs. I'm so good. mangrove slabs, and warp slabs. Really, we need 8 materials for each room exactly, plus the extra one for the block, I guess. So that's kind of weird. On the front wall, what you want to do is off of really either side, you're going to leave a gap of 3, and you want a polished deep slate block on the, I guess if you're looking at it, the right, and a polished deep slate stair off the left. The reason I say it is, well, okay, I explained that weird. I guess still that's right, and then you'll bring either one in towards each other with the opposite. So you'll have this regardless of how you interpreted what I just said. I'm sorry though, that was kind of weird. My thought process was that you would if you from the right side you place a block and then a stair, and then it'd be gap of 1 block stair, but whatever. You will then break into the wall the 2 rows of dark prismarine above these, and also the ones actually in line. Because the ones in line, you'll make polished deep slate blocks. This is important for this next step, which is where you'll place upside down stone stairs in the wall gaps as well. So you can see that, in fact. You'll place glass just behind those stairs, and then polished deep slate slabs on top of the glass. From this point, what you can do is you can head back to where the wall on the left here ends, and you'll be on this spruce plank to the right of it. You'll count from this plank right by 1 and then forward by 2, and going forward from there, you will place 7 nether brick fence. You'll then, going right, leave a gap of 3, place the same thing, and then again, gap of 3, place the same thing. And that will leave you with 1 row off of either side where there's spruce, which will end up being 0 in a second. On top of the leftmost row of nether brick fence, you're going to place waxed weathered cut copper slabs. On top of the middle, you're going to place mangrove slabs. And on top of the right, you're going to place warp slabs. You'll then bring either of these, or I guess the nether brick fence rows left and right with the same slabs that are placed on top of them just by a single row. These are the tables. They're kind of weird the way that I made them, but I didn't want to do upside down slabs instead of these the fences there because it would just still look kind of weird. I wanted the gap, basically. Anyway, you should have this and something or other. Those are your main 3 rooms done. That's not all too bad. So before we go on and do the hallway, I'm going to move this back like 2 inches. There we go. That was definitely not 2 inches. I will remind you about, because I don't remember if I said this before, because I recorded this like 3 days ago. The doors need to be covered up from the back. The vending machines need to be covered up from the back. And also the entirety of the ceiling where there's smooth quartz slabs needs to be covered with something that isn't a block that emits light. So like, I don't know, oak planks or something. It's usually what I do because oak planks are basic. They're like the basic block. Anyway, heading back through this doorway, the materials you want to get out to start for the hallway, wait, hold on. Okay, are white concrete, spruce planks, black stained glass. This is where I probably need night vision. Hold on my other account. Granite walls will go with... Hold on, I can't do both at the same time. I'm perhaps skilled, but not that skilled. Okay. Acacia trapdoors. White wool. I need to sort this out, good lord. Light blue terracotta. Pink concrete. And we'll go smooth quartz blocks. And that should finish off pretty much everything in this base hallway. Side note, we're going to do this hallway, and then this classroom, and then the room back here, the office or whatever. We're saving the play, whatever the frick this thing is called, words, and the ball pit for later. So on either side, you want to take this first white concrete, and you want to start by bringing it back by 10. Then go back from that with 10 black stained glass. Well, that's a number, apparently. Then 2 white concrete. In the floor beyond that, you'll place 3 spruce planks. And then back up beyond that, you're going to place on the left a white concrete. 4 white wool. That sounded bad. It was fine. It was my finger. 4 white concrete. 2 granite walls. And then we'll go with 7 white concrete. On the right side beyond the spruce planks, you're going to place 6 white concrete, light blue terracotta, white concrete, light blue terracotta, and then I want to say it's like 8. We're going to go 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We're going to go 18 white concrete beyond this. Just like so. That's just so we have that there already. Although we probably won't even go from that side. We'll probably take this one and go left, back, right, or whatever. But yeah. What you can do is, at least in the area where there's walls on both sides, you're just going to place 2 rows of spruce planks in the middle here. As a side note, under any black stained glass or the walls, you will also want spruce planks. Unfortunately, I have to break for this as well, because I have glass under the glass, so I knew where the glass needed to be placed. And yeah, again, also under the granite walls. You should know the drill with these, but I'll explain that later. So what you can do now is we're just going to kind of go block by block here and do stuff. You want to place on top of the black glass 3 additional rows of black glass. And then just for the fun of it, I'll place a row of white concrete on top because that will be the tops of the walls, and it's just good to know that's there, I suppose. Now, we're going to focus on this white wool bit here on the left. So if you look at it from the hallway, I would probably be behind this wall here just so you have a little bit more space. You will take the middle 2 white wools and bring them each up by 2 with white wool. The top right one will be brought up with a pink concrete, and then that pink concrete along with the white wool below it will each be brought right with 3 smooth quartz blocks. The smooth quartz blocks are speech bubbles, by the way. I just don't have anything written in them, and I don't remember what is written on them, frankly. Opposite side, we're focusing on the light blue terracotta again. Maybe it'd be smart to be behind the wall so you have a little bit more space. But you want to bring each of the light blue terracottas up by 2 and then connect those top 2 ones together. From the top right light blue terracotta, you'll place 3 smooth quartz blocks going to the right, which will each be brought up by 1. From this point, it's kind of simple. First off, actually, you might want to place 2 granite walls on top of each granite wall. But then from there, you're really just placing 4 rows of white concrete on top of each white concrete. And again, making sure that you kind of go, I guess, around the shapes that we have here. These dudes. Or I guess lads, to be maybe slightly more gender neutral. Because it's the left one is, I forget her name. It's the teacher. It's all I remember. I played all of the games once and never again. Also, don't forget the white concrete on the granite walls. Well, I guess it kind of goes in with the other rules. But yeah. I'll do this whole row, even though I probably don't need to do this whole row. Yeah. Again, I don't have any current plans of making the rest of the games, but depending on how everything goes with non-YouTube related things, we'll see. So you'll have this now. Cool, I guess. One more thing we can do before we clear our inventory. Actually, 2, I guess. The granite walls, again, as mentioned with the doorway in the little closet there, make sure you just kind of go inside of this room an additional row and just surround or place on the surrounding white concretes or the floor another row of blocks behind. And then behind that a block is where you fill it in to close off the gap and make light not come through that. That'll be more noticeable when we have a ceiling that doesn't emit light either. But I don't really care about that much because I've already done that once and I don't feel like doing it twice. So, how many do we have here? 4. It should be 7. Okay, yeah, it is 7. On the back row of the wall on the left side of the hallway specifically is what I want you to be at least pointing out. But you're doing this on both the left and the right. Just make sure they're in line with this last row of spruce that I have. You'll place acacia trapdoors in line with the bottom 3 rows of white concrete that open up against them. And you should want to open... What? You should open them up against. There we go. Words. You'll then place 2 rows of white concrete on top, which will just kind of close that off and make you realize this is actually a separate room back here if you didn't know that. Although I feel like I made that obvious enough by saying we'll do that later. Anyway, enough slandering. I'm going to tell you to leave the white concrete, spruce planks, and black glass in your inventory and just clear everything else and get out things for sure. Dark oak sign. Polished black stone button. Spruce buttons. You need more than one this time. Smooth quartz slabs. Sea lanterns, I guess, for the next room. And... yeah, I guess we'll kind of call it at that. Unless I want to just, like... you get out dark oak door. Lord, dark oak door if you want. Hold on. So, ignoring me almost dying on literally nothing. The first thing you want to do is in line with the top rows of the walls. You're going to fill in the ceiling of this hallway in with opposite on smooth quartz slabs. I don't know why we're doing this first. Make sure you do include in these little doorways here on the left and right. Not that it's a huge deal, because I'll make sure about that in a minute here, because we're going to do those before we actually do the room. And you'll see why, specifically on the right side, later when we get there. So what you can do now is... you want to head to the... like, character art here on the left wall, which is the white wall. I want to call her Kissy Missy, but that's literally the wrong game. On the top 2 white wool here, you're going to place polished black stone buttons, and below the, what is either the frontmost one or the leftmost one, depending on how you look at it, you'll place a dark oak sign. Moving back, ironically in line with this dark oak sign, actually, just in front of the granite walls, or to the left of them if you're still using that orientation, you'll place a spruce button. You'll do the same thing until you're a block away from the acacia trapdoors and place another spruce button right there. Now, next step. This one's a little bit weird, but I'll explain it in a second. So, on specifically the right side, which is this side here, you want to take the 2 white concrete, or I guess the rows of white concrete to the sides of this gap, and you want to bring them out by 1, but you want to make it 2 rows thick. So, essentially, you'll have this. I don't know. You will, in addition, bring the black glass towards you a row, along with the row of white concrete that is above it. You don't want to place the rows that are in front, because on this side, the wall changes colors there. And technically speaking, this row isn't even visible. It's only visible from the underside there. And then you'll bring all the spruce planks towards you a row, which will just kind of fill in these gaps here. Under the glass as well, don't forget that. Like so. And I guess you might as well bring the opposite on smooth quartz slabs out a row. And also, on this, it's on the back side of it, but on this like corner of white concrete, you'll place a spruce button on the additional row that we added. So on the other side, you will do the same thing, pretty much, except you do want the 2 rows of white concrete on either side of the black glass this time. And also the 2 rows behind. So again, you'll have this frame and this one here. And then the slabs and all that jazz. Actually, I'm going to do the spruce first. Before I place the glass. What is going on with my voice? I'll survive, I guess. Just annoying. So yeah, you'll have this. Cool. What you want to do is, from the backmost row here, make sure you have 2 rows of white concrete here. You will go left and place 14 white concrete. From that point, you'll go forward by, hold on, let me just, 6, 16, you'll go forward by 18 white concrete from this block. Nice. Then go right from that with a spruce plank in the floor, and then it should be like, what, 12 white concrete, I believe, right of that? Correct. Where that spruce plank is situated here in the wall, you will place a dark oak door on top of it. And just kind of outside of the walls from that spruce plank, you'll place another one. We'll focus on this more once we get the walls up in this room, because they're slightly different over here. You will fill in the floor with spruce planks in this room, just like so. This should all be pretty familiar, I think. Hopefully. I don't know, I just live here. Well, I don't live in... Never mind, actually. I was gonna say I don't live in, the Garten of BanBan kindergarten, but... At this point, I really don't know. Maybe I do. Maybe there's a secret laboratory under my house that is the Garten of BanBan kindergarten. I don't know. But then I guess I'd be living on top of it. Nah, never out of the question. You'll then do the same thing we've done a couple times before, which is bringing the walls up with 4 rows of white concrete, at least the walls that you need to do that with. Don't forget above the dark oak door, and that's pretty much the only comment I have for this part. Everything else is just whatever. Just place the blocks, man. It's not that hard. Unless it is. I guess you never know. Is there this whole chalkboard in this room, isn't there? I feel like there is. Hold on. Oh yeah, there is. Okay. Well, it's a whiteboard, not a chalkboard. Eh, tomato, tomato. So... do I want to do the ceiling? Let's just kind of get this... Whoopsies. The little area through the door. So if you just literally open the dark oak door, this spruce plank here, you're going to have white concrete on each side of it that is 2 blocks tall, and then you'll literally just patch up the top. In each of the 2 blocks that you can, you'll place an upside down smooth quartz slab. What? I'm a little bit confused as to what that was, but anyway, moving on from that, I guess. At least my video clip didn't get exploded. We're just gonna move on. You want to fill in the ceiling with upside down smooth quartz slabs. However, you want to leave the outer row open. Instead of just breaking it later, since this one perfectly is just around the perimeter, we're just gonna leave it open. Yeah, I don't actually know what just happened, though. I'm 100% leaving that in the tutorial because that was weird. It's like, I thought it was my power or something, but it just kind of turned off, beeped at me, and then turned back on, like nothing ever happened. That was peculiar. I'm not really sure what that was, but just gonna move on and, you know, continue the tutorial. You're then gonna fill in this gap a block up with sea lanterns just like this. It was, by the way, it blacked out on my screen. I checked the recording and I saw it went green. I don't know why it picked green of all colors, but sure, OBS, sure. But if anybody knows why that happened, do tell me, because I'm a little bit interested. And also feel like that's probably a problem to some extent. Anyway, on the ceiling, if you are in the front left-hand corner, like I am, you want to start by counting right by 3 and back by 2, and you want to break this slab along with the one to the right. You'll leave a gap of 2 and then break 2 and fill all of them with sea lanterns. You're doing a similar thing on the other side, however, we're going to start from the back right-hand corner this time and count left by 2 and then forward by 4. Break this slab, 1 to the left, leave 2, break these 2, and then again replace them with sea lanterns. There should be a perfect center between these. It's not centered in the room, but that's not my problem, really. If you find, essentially on the, I guess, leftmost sea lantern set, you'll be on the innermost block, which is this sea lantern, and you'll find the center. And make this smooth quartz slab a block. It'll be 3 away from either of the lights. Just like so. We don't have the singular slab we need for that, so we're gonna probably move on. Except not fully, because there's actually one more thing we can do with our inventory, because yes. Come to the back left-hand corner, which is this corner. You will count, actually literally just go forward diagonally to the right by 3. And place a row of white concrete here that goes up to the ceiling, and you'll also want to break into it for it. Off of the, we'll call it the front side of this pillar. Sorry, right side, actually, I lied. You're going to place a spruce button at eye level. Boop. Find it weird that Steve's vision is like where it is. Like that's pretty much his eye. I mean, I guess yes, that's his eye level, but when he's pressing something, it's also there. I don't know. Is he just like headbutting it? I know his hand moves, but I like to think that it's headbutting. Anyway, clear your inventory and move on from that and get out. Red concrete. Bone block? Where is bone block? It should be in nature. It just why is it not? Dark oak signs. Polished blackstone buttons. Smooth quartz blocks. Polished deep slate slabs. Yellow stained glass. Which is like the breakable glass in the game, I believe. We'll go mangrove sign. I'm having troubles finding it. There we are. And item frame. First off, that smooth quartz block you have in the ceiling, you'll place an upside down polished deep slate slab below. That is the projector, I think, or something like that. Or you'll take words. That's what you'll take. The white concrete pillar in the corner here. You will connect it to the back wall with 3 rows of yellow glass that are only 4 tall. These just kind of end a little bit before the ceiling. And also from that pillar, you'll place 2 rows to the left so you can still actually get in here. I don't know why they have a glassed off quiet corner, but I don't really want to know either. We'll come back here later when we are about to change inventory stuff, because there's like 2 things we can do in here, and one of them we need another material for. So, hold on, let me just like do a quick scan. Pretty much everything is on the other wall, yeah, the front wall. So if you look at this front wall, we're going to pretend like the dark oak door is on the right side for this intention, and you'll come to the left. You'll count right by 2 and break these 4 white concrete and replace them with red concrete. The middle 2 red can each be brought up with 2 red and then a bone block. The top bone block and top red concrete can each be brought right with 3 smooth quartz blocks per block. Off the front of the top red concrete, you'll place polished blackstone buttons, and beneath the left button, you'll place a dark oak sign. This is the man, the myth, the legend himself, BanBan. I'm never saying that about a Garten of BanBan character again, just for the record. On the actual, what is that, the left wall? So BanBan's on the front now, we're gonna call it, or that's how it is. So look to the left, and you'll be in the top corner on this white concrete. You'll count back 2 and down 1 and place a polished deep side block sticking out of the wall with an item frame off of the right of it. In the corner with the glass, you want to be on the, not the corner row, but 1 row out, and same height as the last polished deep slate block you place. You're going to embed this one in the wall with a mangrove sign off of it. This is the button design, I believe. Yeah, well, I would have probably either told you that or you would have assumed that by the first room, but whatever. Regardless, that's what it is. On the back wall, in line with the top row of glass, you're going to break 2 white concrete up against the glass and 2 up against the wall, so you'll have kind of this. It's like a pause symbol, almost. You'll fill it in with red concrete, and this is where we can change our inventory. You'll get out black concrete, prismarine brick stairs. That's unfortunate, whatever. Cyan concrete, warped trap door, smooth stone, dark oak sign, white carpet, calcite, and we will just call it there, I think, because there's no really good way to go about this. So in the red concrete here between them, the top block specifically are going to break and replace with a black concrete. I am switching my syllables, my favorite. In the very, very corner here, you're going to place a prismarine brick stair that should face directly towards that dark oak door, which is the front wall, or forward, whatever you prefer. You're then going to, I guess, trace this to the front and not get stuck on something on the wall, and from the door or the block in front of the door, you'll count right by 1 and place a cyan concrete. Oh, we need stone buttons. That's cool. Forgot about those. Behind that cyan concrete, though, you'll place a warped trapdoor opened to the left, and then behind that, you'll place another cyan concrete. Off of the right of each of the cyan concrete, you'll place stone buttons. And on top of the cyan concrete against the wall, you'll place a smooth stone with a dark oak sign off the left of it. Then on top of the trapdoor and cyan concrete, you'll place white carpet. If you are not familiar with trying to place things here, you'll be like, hey, wait, I can't do that. You'll just crouch and then place. I have been asked about that before, so I do just like to cover it because you never know. Especially with something like this where a lot of you may have probably never seen my tutorials before, you know. Just a good safety precaution. So from the dark oak door, again, you're going to be... Or you want to count to the 5th white concrete over. So this is the first right here. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. This is on the, I guess, long wall, which is the left one. You're going to break this white concrete along with 6 more behind it. That's not exactly how I meant to do that, but sure. You're going to also break 2 rows up of white concrete and then fill it all with calcite. This is the aforementioned whiteboard. I think I tried to use smooth quartz for this originally, but it blends too much. So, I mean, I guess if you want to try an alternative, you absolutely can. So we may have to do something sneaky for this next step. Although I'll let you know once we get out like half the materials. So you want to get out, or clear your inventory first and then get out. Mangrove stairs. Waxed weathered cut copper stairs. Bamboo stairs. Prismarine brick stairs. Okay, never mind, we're good. Purple stairs. And then you'll need a variety of slabs that are similar. First, we're going to start with mangrove because you need that one 100%. You also need bamboo slab, prismarine brick slab, and wow, waxed weathered cut copper slab. And I believe that's everything you need to finish this room. So we'll start from the back and we'll just work our way forward, trying to do each table logically, although I know that won't happen because it won't. You want to be in the back right-hand corner of the room on this spruce plank. You will start by counting left by 4, and then forward by 1 and place a mangrove stair, excuse me. In front of that stair, you will place an upside-down waxed weathered cut copper slab, which you may need a placeholder for, and I do. And then off each side of this, you're going to have a mangrove stair to the left, a cut copper stair in front, I'm not saying that whole name again, and then a bamboo stair to the right. From the front copper stair, you will count forward 2 and then right by 2 and place a bamboo stair. In front of it, upside down prismarine brick slab. If you so choose, you can actually make these blocks just to make your life easier because you can't see it anyway, so who cares. Off the left of this, you want a copper stair. Off the front, a mangrove, and off the right, a prismarine brick. From the copper stair on the left of that table, you will count to the left by 5 and place a prismarine brick stair with a mangrove or upside down mangrove slab in front of it. Left of that, you want a mangrove stair. In front of that, purple stair, and right of it, a copper stair. From the purple stair on the front here, you'll count forward by 2 and then right by 4. And place a prismarine brick stair here with an upside down bamboo slab in front. Left of that, a bamboo stair. In front of that, prismarine brick stair. And then right of that, a mangrove stair. From that prismarine brick stair on the front here, you'll count right 2 and forward 1 and place a copper stair with an upside down prismarine brick slab in front. Left of that, a bamboo stair. In front of that, a mangrove stair, and then right of that, a prismarine brick stair. From the front mangrove stair, you'll count left by 3, and you'll just place a mangrove slab here with a waxed weathered cut copper stair behind it that faces right. From that stair, you'll count back diagonally left by 1 and place a purple stair facing forward with a copper stair left of that is also facing forward. From that copper stair, you'll count forward by 2 and place a bamboo stair here that faces back. And that should be all of your tables. It's a little bit of a mess, but they're here, in fact. They're in the room. Are they in the room with us? Anyway. That's this room done. Now we'll do the back room, and then we'll end up having to just, do the biggest 2 rooms in the entire building. Nothing crazy. So to start off in this room, you want us to get out spruce planks, white concrete, black concrete, smooth quartz slabs, sea lanterns. What is the ceiling in this room? Oh my lord. The polished deep slate, I guess. There becomes a point to where I just don't know what I should be getting out. Mangrove signs, wherever they are, they're somewhere. Item frame. And we'll just go with the spruce button, I guess. We'll worry about the main, thing in this room afterwards. So you want to take this front kind of corner here from the back of the hallway. And you want to bring at least the bottom white concrete to the left by 11. You will then go back by 9. And you should be able to connect perfectly to the right and hit your wall. Pretty nice. You'll then bring all of that up with 4 additional rows of white concrete. Or however many it is to make it the same height as everything else. Which should be 4. Although, I don't know. I was never good at math. Just like this. Now, we can't fill in the floor. Well, we can fill in the floor, actually. Yeah, we're gonna fill in the floor. We can't fill in the full floor, though, with spruce planks, because we have 4 rows we need to leave open here on the left. And then beyond that, the rest will be spruce planks here to the right. So, again, you're just kind of leaving this space open here. And everything else is spruce. And then we have to do some weird things with this. Which I'm not quite sure I understand the logic behind this, but whatever. Texturing, am I right? So you're going to take the left wall and the back wall and bring the white concrete just down an additional row to help kind of with this gap here. However, the front wall will be brought down with spruce planks. I'm guessing because the floor opens that way, but I don't really know. I don't think there's a proper animation if I remember. I'm pretty sure... No, maybe there is, actually. No, because you have to hit the button, so I feel like it just kind of vanishes and then the thing comes up. No, I'm wrong, actually. It definitely has something. Again, haven't played it in forever. I don't remember. You're going to then fill in this gap a block down with black concrete, so a block below the floor, basically. Because we added that extra row for something, in fact. You'll have this now. As mentioned, we'll kind of worry about the rest of this later. However, we can add a couple minor details. So first off, for the ceiling, you want to place... It's going to be filled with upside down smooth quartz slabs, again, in line with this top row. You should know the drill. However, this room in particular is very strange. So every wall is trimmed except for the left wall. So you're just going to kind of place a row of, what is this, 6 slabs in the middle here on the left, or upside down slabs. And then you're going to bring them all the way right until you have just a block of gap here on the right. And just kind of fill in this rectangle. That's not all, though. So you have, I guess if you look at it from above, you have like a C or something. You're going to take the furthest right row and connect this slab forward to the wall. I'm not really sure why that's like that, but it is. And then from here, everything else is sea lanterns a block up. You should know the drill. It's kind of just like a big old snake that goes around. I guess never mind, no it's not, because I forgot that the left side is weird. Just like this. Now, we have another one of those desks to make, but that's not important just yet. I figured I would throw that out while I'm kind of surveying what I want to do next. We'll start with the right side, and then we'll kind of just work our way slowly over here to where we will do this thing once we have the materials. So on the right wall, you'll take this top corner and just kind of down diagonally forward by 1 and place a polished deep slate sticking out here with an item frame off the left. Head to the doorway on the front right-hand corner, and you'll count to the 3rd white concrete behind the middle and place a spruce button here. Now on the back wall, we'll kind of head all the way to the back left-hand corner, and from, really pick a white concrete, or it doesn't matter. You'll count over to the right by 3, and now you want to make sure you'll have 2 rows, or 2 white concrete below you on this block until you'll hit the black. And you'll break this white concrete along with 3 to the right. So it'll be 1 block above the actual floor. You'll break a row above, and then fill this all with black concrete. On the left wall, we can do 2 things. One, if you find the middle 2 blocks, you will take the frontmost of the 2, which these are the 2 middle. Take the frontmost, and you'll break the top white concrete that is fully visible and replace it with a polished deep slate with a mangrove button off the right. So you'll just have a half a block here above it. From that, actually, the mangrove sign, you'll place a sea lantern kind of down diagonally back by 1. This will be more important in a little bit. Just, it's nice to get it out of the way while we have it on us. And I guess from that sea lantern, you'll count down by 2 and then forward by 2 and place a spruce button here. Again, will be important in a second. It doesn't really make sense right now, but that's fine. Clear your inventory and get out. Mangrove stairs. Red nether brick blocks, which they're not called blocks, but whatever. Iron bars. Nether brick fence. Did I use structure voids here? No. Okay. Just talking out, or just thinking out loud, pretty much. Cyan concrete. Warped trapdoor. White carpet. Smooth stone, and dark oak sign. And we can almost finish this room. So you will leave basically 2 white concrete visible on the left and right here if you're looking at this wall, and just place red nether brick off the middle 4. You'll bring the red nether brick right a row and then surround them in upside down mangrove stairs. Like so. You'll place iron bars off the rows of 3 and then bring them in towards each other by 1 on the right. And then you'll bring those iron bars towards the right by 1 again, so you kind of have this shape going on to make it look like it's an open gate. You can place structure voids here again if you want to make it a little bit more full, but I didn't. Another thing you can do is, let me see if I did that. No, I didn't. You can place barriers right here to make it so you can just walk over this gap, because you can in the game. Kind of like that, actually. Anyway, you'll connect the sea lantern down with nether brick fence, and that's kind of this side done. Now head to the back right-hand corner of the room, which is right here, and you will... Oh, that's a long distance. You will count forward by 2 and left by 2 and place a... Or left by 1, excuse me, and you'll place a cyan concrete here. Left of that, a warp trapdoor open towards the front half of the block, and then a cyan concrete left of that. On top of the right cyan concrete, you'll place a smooth stone with a dark oak button off the... Or dark oak sign, excuse me, off the back of it. And then you'll place white carpet off on top of the other 2 blocks. Actually, you can literally just place it off the side of the smooth stone rather than crouching. Yeah, whatever. Also, alternatively, there is a button that is like right here in the game, or it's a keycard scanner. Actually, it's not a button, but I kind of use that. I use the buttons for the keycard scanners. If you want to like remove the trapdoor or push it out or something, you can. I didn't worry about it, frankly, but just know that it's there. 2 more things and this room is done. You need dark prismarine stairs and you need bamboo stairs. Just ironically behind where the warp trapdoor is, you'll actually place a dark prismarine stair facing forward. From either the cyan concrete, you'll leave a gap of 1 and then place a bamboo stair facing backward, and that should be your room done. Side note as well, if you want to make the floor closed here, there is like a stack of boxes in this corner. But I mean, outside of that, that's really all. Depending on if I make the other games, I may change this because, you know, I would love to make them connected, although I'm not really sure about that. That is all, again, just part of a hypothetical of what if, but yeah. Do keep that in mind. I just, you know, I'm not really feeling that, like, Castle and some of the later games get a little bit questionable. Which is also why I'm a little bit on the fence about Poppy Playtime, specifically Chapter 3. Chapter 2 probably wouldn't be too bad, but Chapter 3 is not exactly it. Anyway. Now it's time for the last 2 rooms, which will probably be like a majority of this video, actually. So to start off, the whatever this room is called, the like playground-ish room, you want to get out. Moss blocks, where even? There they are. Grass blocks. Stripped dark oak wood or logs, it really doesn't matter because we're only using them for the walls right now. Do we need them for the actual thing? No, we don't. That's good. Blue concrete. Purple concrete. Lime concrete. Light gray terracotta. Green terracotta. And we'll go with... I think light gray concrete. That might be the best option here. So, starting from the front wall, or the... I guess left wall, technically, the one with the window here. You want to take the white concrete on the other side of the doorway, and this furthest, I guess, forward, again, black glass. And you want to go off either one to the side, or I guess against this wall, with 9 moss blocks. Just like this. We are going to refer to this as the front of the room here, where you enter, just because I find that a little bit easier for this room because it's so freaking big. So you're going to head to the right side, and you want to take this moss block and bring it back by 41. Just like that. You'll then go left by 34. Oh, God. There we go. And then you'll place one moss block, and then you will place in the floor from that 2 purple, or 3 purple concrete, actually. And then back up, you'll place moss blocks to connect forward, which should be 36, according to my calculations. Just like that. Now, I'm going to recommend, before we focus on anything else, to get the floor out of the way, just because, yeah. So this entire area, you're going to just start by filling in with grass blocks. I'll fill a few rows manually so I can talk about something. We're just filling this in, and then we're going to go back in and break for a couple little details. It's mainly like the river and the area by the door, which has like some purple circles or something going on. I don't really know. But yeah, I'm gonna slash fill from here because I hate placing grass. It's so loud. Oh, it's actually almost on like the perfect coordinate. That's crazy. Grass block. There you go. I'll give you a second to catch up, or I know probably you'll want to pause anyway because, yeah. So we're gonna break essentially 2 different rows, but they're gonna be almost the same. They're just a little bit different at a couple points, but yeah. So, starting from the front left-hand corner inside of the walls, you want to count right by 2 and break 2 grass going back. You'll then break back diagonally right 1, back 1. I want to go under the floor for this, actually. Hold on. And then back diagonally right by 3. And then right 1. And then, hold on, let me just make sure that I know what I'm looking at right now. Okay, yeah. Then you'll go back diagonally right by 2. Right 1. Back diagonally right 2. Right 1. Back diagonally right 1. Right 2. Back diagonally right 1. Right 2. Back diagonally right 1. Right by 3. Back diagonally right 1. Right by 3. And then back diagonally right 1 and right by 4. And that should line you up with the other wall. Like so. For the other one, we're going to start from the same position, the front left-hand corner, and this time you will count back by 2, and you'll break this grass. You'll then break back diagonally right 2, back 1, and then back diagonally right by, hold on, 1, 2, 3, back diagonally right by 5, and then right 1, and then back diagonally right 1, right 1, back diagonally right 1, right 1, back diagonally right 1, and then you'll break right 1, back diagonally right 1, right by 3, back diagonally right 1, right by 3, right by 4 actually, so you'll break 1 more, and then you'll go back diagonally right 1, right 2, back diagonally right 1, and then right by 5. So that's correct. Yes, okay. That was a little confusing, but I got it. I was looking at it from the underside, which was for some reason throwing me off slightly more. But anyway, you're gonna break everything in between these 2 lines that is grass and fill it all in with blue concrete. I'm not really sure. There's a river here, but it's not a real river, obviously, because, well, I don't feel like I would trust kindergartners with a real river. Or really water at all, frankly. But, yeah. Or at least this amount of water. Plus, it's like not a water park. I don't know. There's just there's no logical argument for a river in the middle of a playground, you know? I can't really think of one, at least. Anyway, you should have this. It's a little goofy, but, like, it gets the job done, so who cares? There's one more thing that we can do with, well, the floor. So you want to head to the back left-hand corner, and in this corner, you're going to break this grass and 5 more to the right. So you'll have 6 in total broken. You'll then go forward diagonally, right 1, forward 2, forward diagonally, left 1, back diagonally, left 1, forward diagonally, left 1, and then back diagonally, left 1. This block you can really make whatever. What do I have it as? I have it as a purple, actually, but it's covered up anyway, so you won't notice it. You'll then break all of this in the middle and fill it with purple concrete. I am a master of making things the same, so I'm just going to make that block of purple there in the end, but it doesn't matter. Either way, it's really strange. So, in this kind of corner here, you'll take this moss block, and it's in the back left-hand corner. It's the first one that'll be visible from the inside because this corner one doesn't count. You'll place 2 light gray concrete on top. You'll then go up diagonally right by 1 from that with another light gray. Right 1. Down diagonally right 1. Down 1. And then you'll end up going down diagonally left 1 and left 1, which you'll have to break into the moss for, which is fine. You'll then place a moss block on either corner, so you'll have this kind of thing going on. You can get rid of your moss blocks and your grass blocks and get out yellow concrete and light blue concrete. You'll fill in the middle of the shape with yellow concrete, and now here comes the fun part. So, there are a bunch of, like, trees and bushes and stuff around the edges. You can do this however you choose. However, I am going to show you the block for block to an extent. We're going to do the first row as a block for block, and then I'll just kind of go around and explain what happens with the trees, because they're the only thing that goes higher than that, really. So, if you head to the front wall, you'll be just left of the entrance, and we're going to start here and just kind of go around in a pattern. So, you want to place 2 light blue concrete, strip dark oak, 2 light blue concrete, blue, 3 light blue, which will include this corner one, and then as you go back, it'll be a purple, 2 light blue, strip dark oak. By the way, all of these are facing up, and all of them are concrete. I guess I should point that out. 6 light blue, strip dark oak, 2 light blue, blue, 3 light blue, stripped dark oak, 2 light blue, stripped dark oak, 5 light blue, blue, light blue, stripped dark oak, 2 light blue, purple, light blue, blue, 2 light blue, and then you'll skip over the entranceway here and place 2 light blue in the corner. And on the other side of this weird sun looking thing, you'll place light blue, strip dark oak, 3 light blue, strip dark oak, 3 light blue, blue, 2 light blue, stripped dark oak, 2 light blue, blue, light blue, stripped dark oak, 2 light blue, purple, light blue, stripped dark oak, 2 light blue, purple, 4 light blue, which will again include the corner, and then moving forward, it'll be blue, light blue, stripped dark oak, 2 light blue, blue, light blue, stripped dark oak, 3 light blue, purple, 2 light blue, strip dark oak, 2 light blue, blue, 3 light blue, purple, light blue, strip dark oak, 2 light blue, blue, 2 light blue, strip dark oak, 2 light blue, purple, light blue, strip dark oak, 2 light blue, blue, and then 3 light blue, which will again include the corner, and then going across the front, it'll be light blue, strip dark oak, 2 light blue, strip dark oak, 2 light blue, and then a blue. There's the first layer. Really, it's not anything beyond that. I'll kind of explain it. So, first off, there are a couple things on the walls. I'm going to try to not use those as examples. I'll use the river probably for something, but I'm going to try to not use the tree placements because, you know, I don't expect you to necessarily have to sim. So, what you want to do with each strip dark oak is you just want to start by bringing them up by 1. Every single tree is the same height, and they all have the exact same design. The only thing that changes is the color, which I'll go over that once I explain how you do each tree. So yeah, you'll have this. We'll start on the left again with the sim one, and basically on each side of that top stripped dark oak, you're going to place a block. For this one, it is a light gray terracotta on each side like this, so basically above it and left and right of it. I'm just going to kind of run through telling you what each block is. Lime, light gray, or green will be the 3 options, and they're just these 3 materials here. It'll be lime concrete, light gray terracotta, and green terracotta, but I'm not going to specify terracotta or concrete, so just make sure you don't accidentally use the light gray concrete, I guess. So, moving across here. First one is lime, then light gray, then lime, then green. These will be touching, that's fine, a couple do. Then lime. Then on the back wall, it's lime again. Green. Light gray. And then there should be 2 more on the back wall, which are both lime. Then on the right wall, it's light gray. Green, lime, green, light gray, lime, and then on the front here, these final 2 are green and then lime. And that's pretty much all of the detailing we have. We just have to kind of fill up the walls, which... Do I want to do the ceiling even right now? I will, and I'll just tell you to use night vision, I guess, because you need light blue for it, so might as well. And the lights don't do anything. So on top of the original row of light blue concrete, and I guess whatever blue or purple you may have, you will place 2 additional rows of light blue concrete. This will make the walls as tall as the trees that you've made, which is kind of what you want. And it's just a lot of the same old, I guess. But yeah. Get ready for a lot of light blue placing. This is, as much as this is a lot, it's not nearly as bad as Chapter 1 of Poppy Playtime was, because oh my god. If I ever do any further chapters with that, I'll have to make them... Like, I'll have to do something weird with it, because of the fact that I don't, you know... 10 parts is a lot to lay out, and I understand some people probably didn't appreciate 10 parts in... such, I guess, short succession, but I'll have to think of something, whether it be longer parts or what. This is nice because I can slam it all into one video, but anyway, you'll have this now. The next step is you want to place a row of light blue concrete up diagonally inward from the walls, and it will go all the way around the build. And I'm going to mark out every single one before we do the filling, because it's easier that way. Side note, you will go above the little gap here in the back left, I guess along with the entrance into the room from where we came from. So yeah, just like this. You'll pick pretty much any flat edge or any part of any flat edge, just don't be near the corner at all. I'll be like right here. And you'll place 2 light blue concretes just going up, which will mean you'll need 2 more rows. Then you'll go up diagonally in 1, up 2, up diagonally in 1, up 2, and just to get it marked up diagonally in 1 again. So you have this. And essentially you want to just go around with this pattern. So you'll have essentially, what is it? 3 rows of these 3 block tall light blue concrete strips that just keep getting smaller, and then you'll end up with 1 at the top, which is where where the ceiling is. Figured I would mark that out, just because. But yeah. And then after this, we're probably honestly just gonna finish off the ceiling, get some night vision out, and then call it from there. Because, yeah, I generally would avoid it if I could. Or I guess I can, but I just want to get it out of the way. The way this room is structured anyway. It's weird. Well, I guess we've been doing ceilings first anyway. Just because of the slabs we've been able to see. I didn't really consider that. Until now, at least. I'm considering it now. Just wasn't earlier. But yeah. This room is very weird. I'm not gonna lie. It's like... almost just add windows at this point, you know? I don't know. I guess I understand the logic behind it. It just it does feel a little weird. Especially because there's a bird that needs, what is it, eggs that you find in this one? I don't remember. I think it's eggs. I just know that every single Garten of BanBan game has some sort of section where you're finding objects and shoving them down either somebody's throat or into some object. And I'm not sure I'm particularly a fan of that. But anyway, it's a cool, like, I don't hate the general concept of the, like, puzzle. Just using it in every single game does feel a little excessive to me. And my bad, I'm not making this to hate on BanBan, I swear. I just, as I find myself rambling, I find myself hating on the game more and more. But, you know, perhaps that justifies the lack of me having made this game before now and any other logic. Anyway, it will kind of start to get dark in the corners, but there you go. You'll have this, probably. If you don't have this, your ceiling is probably filled in. If it isn't filled in, fill it in with light blue concrete, in line with that top row. Because that's why I placed it. And again, I'm just going to do a /fill command, and then I'll give myself some night vision. I forgot light blocks are a thing now. Boop. Oh, that's nice and dark. Let me give myself night vision. I'll just give it to myself for like a million seconds. How long is that? Yeah, 1600 minutes. Okay. How many hours is that? 1200 is 20, right? No, 200. No, it is 20. I'm right. So this is like more than 20, but less than 30. Somewhere in there. 25-ish. So, yeah, you'll have this. I'm just rambling to kind of buy some time for anybody who may need it. So, next step. This is where things get a little bit strange. Clear your inventory and get out. That's not the strange part, don't worry. Polish black stone slabs. Sea lanterns. Is this spruce? It looks like spruce. Yeah, spruce wood. This does need to be wood. Funnily enough, though, dark oak slabs. And dark oak fence. Dark oak stairs. Dark oak planks. And I guess we'll go waxed, weathered, cut copper slabs along with spruce logs, funnily enough. We need both logs and wood. Which is weird, but whatever. So we're going to start with the ceiling lights, even though they're literally going to barely do anything. You want to start from either front corner, and you can... Okay, I was like, where is my phone? But it just, like, fell. You want to count in or across the front by 2, and then back by 1, and place a polished blackstone slab on the ceiling. So is it like that? Yes, like that. You will then bring either of those slabs in, or I guess towards each other by one. And then go back diagonally in one. Back one. Back diagonally out one. Out one. Forward diagonally out one, and then you will just go forward one, which will create kind of a 4x4 square without the corners, and it's hollow. You'll then do a peculiar pattern, but a pattern nonetheless. So you're going to just continue to do these behind each other. However, the first one, you'll leave a 1 block gap when you do it. And again, do it on both sides. And then you'll leave a 2 block gap. And then a 2 block gap again. Almost there, not really. And then a 2 block gap again. And then you'll end with a 1 block gap. These aren't, I believe, like this in the game. Just because of the way that my spacing worked, I had to do something weird. And this was my choice. So in the middle, I guess this is probably where we need to go next. You want to head to the black glass, because we're going to use the black glass to help actually measure where the center of the room is. If you head to the furthest, I guess, right row if you're looking at it, but it's left from the front, it's this row right here against the white concrete. You'll count over a row and then just trace this all the way up to this first block on the ceiling. From it, you will count back by 3 and place a slab here. You'll bring it left and right by 1 each, and then from either of those end ones, you'll go back diagonally out by 1. Then go back 2 from either of them, back diagonally in by 1, and then you'll just connect together in the middle. These are actually weirder somehow. So you're going to copy this same shape going back, but again, this time you're leaving a 2 block gap to start. And then a 4 block gap. And then a 2 block gap again. Just like that. In the middle of each of these slab things, you're going to just place sea lanterns, which includes the 2x2s and the 3x3s. I guess that's the spacing in the middle that you have. They're 4x4s and 5x5s, technically. But just without the corners, obviously, because, you know. You can't really call these circles. At least I can't. I mean, I guess with the amount of space you have for these, I guess it kind of is as good as you're going to get for a circle, but a square without the corners is funnier. Anyway, you'll have this now. It's looking decent, I suppose. Let's do the trees first, because they're kind of weird, and I think they're all the same, so yeah. They're not even rotated, are they? Was I really that lazy? Wow, I was. It's crazy. So, you want to find you want to be on the river on this kind of first spot where you have these 4 diagonals of 1s on the back. You want to be on the last one, which is this one, and you will count from it back by 1 and left by 3, and place a dark oak slab. Behind it, you will place 3 spruce wood that are facing upward, and then another dark oak slab. Retracing your steps on this backmost spruce wood, you'll place a dark oak slab. And on this middle one here, you will place going up 4 spruce wood. Left and right of this bottom middle block, you'll place dark oak slabs. I'm just going to get the trunks placed, so I'm going to give you 1 more block for block of that, and then I'll just tell you how to place the other 2 or where they're positioned. Starting from the black glass here again, if you're this time on the edge with the moss and light blue to the side, you're going to count over to the 4th one. So this is the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and you will count back to the 3rd grass block behind. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and you'll place your dark oak slab here. Again, go back with 3 upward facing strips, or sorry, normal spruce wood, and then a dark oak slab behind. On top of the back spruce wood, dark oak slab. On top of the middle one, you'll place 4 dark oak wood moving up. Left and right of the middle one, you'll place dark oak slabs. And actually, that leftmost dark oak slab can be brought left an additional 1. I did forget about that. Oopsies. So yeah, you'll have this. This next one, we're going to build kind of backwards. So if you start from the back right-hand corner, you'll count left by 3 and forward by 1 and place a slab. 3 wood, slab. And then again, you're still taking the backmost and placing the slab. Middle one, 4 wood, slab left and right of the bottom, where it'll extend left an additional 1. And the final tree, we're also going to build backwards. If you take this corner in the purple concrete where there's a grass block, it's right here. I don't really know how to explain it other than it's kind of this front corner where there's a lack of a purple. You'll count forward by 6 and right by 2 and place a slab. 3 wood in front, slab again, and then again back slab, or back wood up with a slab. 4 wood on top of this middle one, left with 2 slabs, right with 1 on the bottom. So the dark oak fence, again, is the same, but this is a little bit weirder, so I'll probably just tell you each one, or instruct each one, or at least instruct 3, and then maybe quicken it up on the 4th. So really pick a tree, I guess, it doesn't matter. I'm going to pick this one, actually, the one that we just did, because it's the most in the center. It'll be the easiest to kind of show you. So you want to take the left side here, and off the top 2 spruce wood, you'll place dark oak fence to the left. You'll then go up with an additional 2 fence and left by 1 from that. You'll place a dark oak fence off of the front top spruce wood. And then go up 2, whoopsies, right 1, up 1. Off the right side, you'll place, again, just off the top, a fence to the right. You'll go up 1, right 1, back 1, up 1, left 1. And then from the back here, you'll place a dark oak fence behind the top block again. Go up with a fence. Back 1. Left 1. Up 1. And then there's 2 more fences, I believe, that we need to place. 3, actually. 2 or 3? Wait, I can't do math. It's 2. So, from the back branch that we made, you'll just place a dark oak fence left of this bottom one. You'll also place a dark oak fence on top of the top spruce wood. And that should be everything. So again, just as a refresher, I'm going to do these next, or I'm going to do these two at the same time. So I'll just give you a little bit more time as I'm doing them. And then I'll do that one at the end, I guess. So off of the left side of these top 2 spruce wood, you'll place dark oak fence. You'll go up an additional 2 and left 1. This one here will connect to the wall, which is fine. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then left. And then also back 1. I forgot about that. Did I do that on the original? I don't think I did. No, I didn't. It's a sneaky fence. Off of the front, you'll place a dark oak fence off the top block, which will go up 2, right 1, up 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1. Off the right side, it'll be fence, just off the right again of the top block. Up 1, right 1, back 1, up 1, left 1. So again, off the right, up, right, back, up, left. I had to, like, realize that what I was doing. And then off the back, again, it's just the top block, which will be brought up 1 with a fence. There. What? Huh? Something like that. Back 1, left 1, and up 1. So again, boop, boop, back, left, up. And then you'll place the fence on top and the one just to the left of that bottom fence on the back. Oh, that's the wrong tree. Final tree, I'll go a little bit faster, but still not too fast. Off the top 2 spruce woods off the left, you'll place dark oak fence. You'll go up 2, left 1, and then you cannot forget to go back 1. Off the front, you'll place a fence. You'll bring it up 2, right 1, up 1, and again, this will connect to the wall. That's not a huge deal. Right side, just to the right one, up one, right one, back one, up one, and left one. And then off the back, you'll place fence. You'll go up one, back one, left one, up one. Then you'll place a fence on top and one left of that bottom dark oak fence, like so. Not really complicated, but they are weird, and I'm not a huge fan of them. I mean, they don't look bad, but they're weird for sure. When I think of weird, these come to my mind 100%. So anyway, let's focus our attention on the river again, because it has one more kind of, well, one more defining detail of what we have right now in our inventory that we can do. So on the back row, you have a row of 3 here just kind of towards the end, and then a row of whatever it is, it's longer than 3, it's 5. You want to take the leftmost blue concrete and place a dark oak slab on top. Bring it left with a slab, then leave a gap of 1 for now, and then place 2 more dark oak slabs. In that gap, you will actually place a spruce log facing front to back. You'll then bring it forward with 2 spruce wood, and I'll explain why I'm doing it like this later, or in a minute. Then go forward diagonally left 1, forward 2, forward diagonally left 1, and then forward with 2 spruce logs instead. This is so just the front and the back have the log texture showing, and the rest of the sides have just the normal wood bark texture. So yeah. Pretty simple, I guess. Now, let's do something that is slightly less simple, but I wouldn't exactly call it difficult regardless of that. I'm going to use this tree here as our marker, this back left one, or whatever it is. You'll take this dark oak slab here on the right side of it, and you'll count right from it by 4, and place going back 4 dark oak stairs that face left. You then bring each one right with an upside down dark oak stair. Then go up from those with a dark oak stair. Right with an upside down dark oak stair. Up with a normal stair, and then from that you will go right with... How many? A lot of planks, really. 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll call it 7 dark oak planks. Yes, 7 dark oak planks right of each one. We'll do the supports on the underside and stuff later. I just want to get the main thing done and dusted. So from that 7th dark oak plank here on the front, you'll place a dark oak plank just on top of it. You'll go right with an upside down dark oak stair facing right. Up with a plank. Then bring it right by 3. Back 3. Left by 3. Down with an upside down dark oak stair that faces right, and then left with a dark oak plank. You can connect the upside down dark oak stairs together, and then connect the planks that are kind of on either side of it, which is... Actually, no, they're different. You'll connect these bottom planks together with stairs, and the top planks together with slabs. And then the ceiling here, or this 2x2, can just be filled in with planks. Now what you can do is... You should have limited this to where you only have 6 rows of dark oak planks visible, which is what we want, that's good. You want to take the rightmost 3 visible ones, and you'll take them, or extend them, I guess, back with 4 dark oak planks each. Just like so. You'll then take the backmost dark oak plank and extend it right by 1. Then go down with an upside down dark oak slab. And then right with 4 planks. Extend that plank forward by 7. And then you'll also extend it left by 3. And you'll also take that block and actually connect it back to the original and just fill in this rectangle. This little 3-block gap will be filled in with dark oak slabs, which will each have an upset on dark oak slab underneath them, so you'll have 4 in total. And that, I believe, is the lay of the land as far as this thing is concerned. We have those. Yes, okay. Yeah, that's like that pretty much done again as far as the walking area is concerned. So for the non-walking area, essentially on top of each top dark oak plank, you want to place a dark oak fence. And there's really one, well, no, I'll just tell you to punch them out afterwards, actually. You want to only go around the outer edge, though. Which I'll kind of show you. It essentially, well, I guess I'll place these anyway, even though those are obviously not supposed to be there, but you'll have this, kind of. Or basically. Now, for the ones that you have to break, on the left side, you'll break these middle 2 to let the stairs have a gap, and you'll also actually break from this front fence the 2 to the right of it. And then on this top balcony, you'll break not this right corner, but one to the left. For supports going down, essentially on it's pretty much each corner, but also not, because that's not on the corner. What the hell? So just to the right of the staircase, you'll have dark oak fence connecting these planks down. You'll then leave a gap of 2 going right, and you'll connect down here, which just will be on the inner corner here on the back. Going across the front side here, you'll leave a gap of 3 and then place a fence. Gap of 2, fence. You will also have a fence on the back right-hand corner, and then there's one more, but it's not even in a logical spot. Essentially, if you head back to this inner cornered fence I mentioned earlier, yeah, you're leaving a gap of 2 going back and then placing fence there, so it's just in front of that corner. I honestly don't know. But as far as supports go, that's all. This side over here is just kind of floating. So there's 2 more things we can do with the dark oak. And then we can use the copper, and then we're, like, almost done the room. We do have a couple more things to do after that, but they're not huge. So, you want to take the left side here, and particularly this dark oak fence here on the front left-hand corner, and bring it up by 2. And essentially, you're just bringing up the corner ones in relation, so it's just 2 block gaps, and each one is up by 2, and you're creating a 4x4 square, essentially, like so. Regardless of how bad that explanation was, you can see what I'm talking about. You'll place a row of dark oak stairs connecting the left side and the right side, at least as far as to each other, not across the front. They're going, like, front to back. Like so. And they're facing left to right. You'll then actually connect the dark oak stairs together across now this time with upside down dark oak stairs, which will then have normal dark oak stairs on top. That explanation was atrocious, but you should have this. And you're going to do the exact same thing with this top right section, again taking each corner and placing 2 fence on top. And then the stair rows going... They're facing left to right, going across. Upside down stairs in the middle with normal stairs on top. Not quite self-explanatory, but easy enough. That sounded bad. That was my phone. So, we have 2 things we can do, pretty much. And then we have to do a little trolling. I guess, I don't know. Something like that. So, get out your waxed weathered cut copper slabs and come to the left side here where you have this gap in the fence on the front where it just looks like a jump to your demise. From the 2 slabs in the middle here, you'll place copper slabs in front of them. You'll then go down with upside down slabs. Bring those upside down slabs forward with blocks. Bring those blocks down with upside down slabs. Bring those upside down slabs towards you with a block, and then a slab from that. The other one's a little weirder. On this gap here at the top, you'll place a waxed weathered cut copper block. You bring it forward by 1, then a slab. Down with an upside down slab, forward with a block. Left with a slab, down with an upside down slab, left with a block. Back with a slab, down with an upside down slab, back with a block. Right with a slab, down with an upside down slab, right with a block. Forward with a slab, down with an upside down slab, and then forward with a block. And that gives you a little spiral slide. What is it? Is that what they're... No, what are they actually called? I was going to say spiral staircase, but that's not a staircase. Whatever, it's a spiral shaped slide. Something like that. Clear your inventory, and before we actually get out everything for the next set, I just want you to get out iron bars, specifically. On the furthest forward set here, this kind of top set of where it's block, slab, block, that's not specific enough, but it's this set right here. You'll take the left block and right block and just extend them down with what should be 3 iron bars per. The right one will connect to this front lowest block, and the left one will connect down to the grass. And bam, that's the playset done. It's really just doing the other little things around, which shouldn't be too bad. Let's try to finish this room, shall we? So to start off, you want to get out oak slabs, which by the way, a lot of these slabs we're getting out we'll also use for the block variant because it's just easier. Mangrove slab. Spruce slab. Polished deep slate slabs. Might as well get all the slabs out first while I have the category open. Spruce stairs. Hold on, I'll get there, I swear. Item frames. Mangrove signs. Bamboo fence. And I guess we'll go crimson fence. We'll have to switch out one of these for something later, but that's not a huge deal. So let's start off with the... Do we want to start with those actually? No, because we're going to use something else to mark those, so I'm going to lie then. Let's start with start in the front right-hand corner of the room, which is this one. You will start by counting back by 3 and left by 1 and place an oak slab. Bring it forward diagonally left by 2. Then go back diagonally left 1. And then back diagonally right by 2. From this end one, you'll count back 1 and left 2 and place an oak slab, and literally do the exact same thing. So go forward diagonally left 2, back diagonally left 1, and then back diagonally right 2. From this back block, you will count back by 5 and right by 2, place an oak slab, and I guess I inverted this. Whatever. You're going to go forward diagonally right by 2, forward diagonally left 1. Actually, this is inverted anyway, so never mind. And then back diagonally left by 2. So you'll have this going on, essentially. In the middle block of each of these, you'll place an oak plank. Which it could be an upside down oak slab as well, but you can't see that anyway, so who cares? We're gonna get the boat out of the way because the boat might be the worst part of this entire build. So if you head to the front left-hand corner, what are we even gonna use? Just come to the actual front left-hand corner, whatever. And you'll start by counting right by 6. And then back by 4. You can place a mangrove plank. Go left with a slab. Then bring that slab back by 2. Back diagonally left 1, and then back with a plank. Take that plank and bring it left by 1. Then left with an upside down slab. Bring that upside down slab up with a plank, and then bring that plank right with a slab. This will make sense, I swear. Not really. You will then take that plank again and bring it forward 1. Forward diagonally right 1. Forward 1. And then forward diagonally right by 1. underneath each of those planks, you want an upside down mangrove slab. You may need some placeholders for this, which is fine. But yeah, you'll have this. And the remaining 3 gaps you have, you're just placing mangrove planks. Like so. And we should probably close off this part, shouldn't we? Just in front of this slab here, you want an upside down slab, which again you'll need a placeholder for, and then a slab on top. So you'll have this for your boat. Again, it's not great, but it gets the job done, so... You wouldn't know what it is if I didn't tell you it was a boat. I'll tell you that much for sure. Unless you're, like, psychic or something. And ignoring the fact that you may or may not know this game exists. That's another kind of important information piece. What? Okay, whatever. Anyway. Oh, that's a thing. Oh, that's also a thing. Okay, whatever. It's fine. I just, like, remembered more than one thing that, I forgot about. So... You want to come to the back purple concrete thing again, and you want to be on the one grass block kind of divot in the middle. It makes it look like something a little bit weird if, maybe, never mind. You'll then count forward by 2 and place 2 bamboo fence moving up. Bring this top one left by 2, and then connect down to the ground on the end there. You'll take the middle bamboo fence and bring it up by 1, and then go up with a crimson fence. You'll bring that crimson fence forward by 15. And then go down from that end one with 2 bamboo fence. Bring this bottom bamboo fence left and right by 1 each, and then you can connect those end ones down. Leaving gaps of 4 on the top of the crimson fence here, you're going to place these bamboo little stands again on, I guess, every 5th fence. So 3, 4, 5th one you see there. I'm just going to mark them first. You should be placing 2 additional ones. Just like this. There you go. Pretty easy if I do say so myself. Get rid of, I guess, your oak slabs and get out dark oak fence gates. And in these 4 block gaps, you'll take the middle 2 blocks, and you'll go down with 2 dark oak fence gates, which will be kind of in line with the fence. And then below those, you'll place an upside-down polished deep slate slab, like so. I'll just start with this step, I guess. Oh, God. These are annoying to place. I never realized how annoying fence gates were to place like this. But, I mean, I guess who uses fence gates like this anyway? Tell you, not me. You'll then open each of these dark oak fence gates, making sure that they open to the left like so. I guess I'm using fence gates for this purpose right now. They're good for strings like this. Actually, I guess I've used them on the security breach statues as well for their guitars and stuff. So I certainly do use this, I guess. Anyway. It's time for the aforementioned polished deep slate things, which... We're going to mark on one side, and then you'll literally just trace them across. So on that swing set, which is what we just made, you want to find the middle 2 blocks, which are these 2. You'll take the frontmost of the middle and just trace it up to where the first, I guess, divot, or first section in of light blue ends, and you'll place a polished deep slate block sticking out right there. That's a really bad explanation, but you see what I mean. Also, in line with this, from the corner, you'll just leave these first 3 light blue available, and then this 4th one will have a polished deep set. If you line it up with the boat, it'll be in line with the, I guess, 2nd row of the boat, because the first one is technically this little guy. So, yeah, like so. You'll place an item frame off the front of them, and then you'll, again, also trace these across and place them in the same spot. So if I look at this, and I move left to right, I'm seeing that my Z coordinate is changing. So 545... and 524, and I'll just take that across and say, okay, 524 is here, 545 is here. And then I'll place item frames. If you want where they're lined up, the front one is in line with this, the back of this frontmost table, and the back one is in line with the middle of this little spiral slide. One more thing, and then we need to add like a couple more things at the back, which aren't really huge. Actually, two more things. I forgot about that. Oh my lord. Okay, whatever. That's fine. So from the river here on the far right, you want to count to the fourth grass block behind, which is this one. You'll trace it up to the top light blue concrete on this first layer of the wall and break it and place a polished deep slate block in its place. Then put a mangrove sign off the side of it, or the front of it, I guess. One more thing I almost forgot, which I'm glad I happened to just want to use for an example, because if I didn't, I was not placing it. You want to take this tree here just left of the play area, and from this front slab, if you're highlighting it, you will count right by 2 and then forward by 3. And right on this block, you'll place an upside down spruce stair facing left. Right of it, you want an upside down spruce stair facing right. And then you're going to leave a 2-block gap moving forward and place the exact same setup. Bring either of those stairs to the side, which is left and right, with an upside down spruce slab, and then an upside down mangrove slab. On top of each of the mangrove slabs, you want a bamboo fence gate, which you can just get rid of literally anything for. Just like that. And then you can clear your inventory and get out. Stone. Nether brick fence. Birch sign. Ladders. Rails. And you need barrier. If you do not know how to get a barrier, you do /give at S barrier, just like that. If you're in survival or whatever, I really don't know what you would use in this situation, because of the fact that, well, you pretty much need to use something like this, because you need the ladders to sit on an air block, and you know how that goes if you're not trying to do that, along with the rails, actually. So we'll start with that. I can show you where it is. If you take the purple concrete here, you'll take this row of 3 here on the right, and specifically the middle block, and you'll count left or right of it by 4. Here you will place 3 barriers moving up. Oh god. Top block, then go right from the top by 2, and from this one go down by 2. Along the top here, you'll place rails, and along the left and the right, you'll place ladders. These are like those monkey bars. I think this is a pretty good way to represent it. Wait, hold on. I'm just gonna like check the room real quick for anything else. Because we need one more material. Oh wait, is there a button on this? No, there's not. Darn, I didn't put it. Get out spruce trapdoors. We don't need them immediately, but we do need them in a second here. Where you have the doorway leading into the ball pit, just in front of it off of this moss block, you'll place a stone. This will kind of cover up that one purple, so you'll have this. Bring it up with 2 nether brick fence, and off the right of the top nether brick fence, you'll place a birch sign. You'll go down a line, and you will type ball pit with a capital B and capital P and a space in the middle. Go down a line, and then type closed with a capital C. Whoever wrote this sign, like, the capitalization annoys me. Anyway, behind that nether brick fence, you'll place 3 spruce trap doors open to the right, which will kind of go across that gap like so. And voila, that is this room done, and that was like a 50-minute room, right? That was more than a 50-minute room, actually. But yeah, as I suspected, this room took up most of the tutorial, and the ball pit will not help that. So, for the ball pit room, you want to come into this corner here where there is the, the ball pit closed sign. And you want to head in, or through the doorway, into probably a vast and open space. This is where most of the down space comes from. You can see everything's been flat so far. But that's about to change. Except for, I guess, that room is a little lower. Anyway, you want to start off by getting out white concrete, purple concrete, gray concrete, sea lanterns. I guess we'll go smooth course blocks. You might as well get the ceiling out of the way. Spruce planks. Polished blackstone brick slabs. And really, we're going to be one material short. We're always one material short for what I need. It always is. We'll go yellow terracotta, and actually no, we won't be because we already have one of them, thank God. But you need pink concrete in addition, so we're good. So you want to start off by heading through this doorway, and to the right of it, you're going to place 3 white concrete, just kind of moving pretty much parallel or touching that wall. I guess it is both, technically. It's parallelly touching, that's a word. And it does stick one further out. You then want to take this end white concrete, and this is where I need my notes. You want to place going back, aka that way, 25 white concrete. You will then go left by 33. And then you'll pretty much connect back into that wall and go across, which is 25 that way. And then right by, what is that number actually? 6, 7, so it'll be 27, I believe. Yes, and that will leave you with the gap over here still. Perfect. Now, I'm going to quickly, actually, I'll give you probably the step first. Sure, whatever. So you want to take these 3 purple concrete in specific, and you want to extend each of them to the left by 14 with purple concrete. Actually, 15. I take it back. Just like this. Then from there, you'll take this row of purple and pretty much from the... oh my god, pretty much from the doorway, you'll place 2 rows to the right, which will connect it into the wall. And then what I believe is 1 row to the left. Yes, 1 row. Obviously barring or with the exception of under the walls, because you don't need to do that. You'll then from the far left go down diagonally to the left with 2 rows of purple. What is going on with my voice? It's not that early. I mean, it is, but it's not. And then you go left from that with 8 rows of purple concrete. And that should, in theory, kind of box into the corner of your wall here. Just like so. Pretty much every exposed white concrete from this point, you're going to bring down by... Well... we're going to skip that step, actually. Every white concrete just around the purple over here, you'll bring down by either 1 or 2. This one in the corner is just 1, but everything else is 2. I do have to break my red glass because of the way that I went about this, but that's fine. Not really a huge waste of time. Because this one I made flat, unlike the Poppy Playtime one, where there were a million different heights, and I actually had it per end of the wall in each room. So I was always just placing on top of the glass rather than having to go below it. Anyway, from this point... Where do we go from this point? That's a really good question. Let's look at this particular portion. The purple we just kind of placed, except we're looking at the underside of it from the left. You want to essentially place 1 white concrete below each of these purple concrete... Except for this bottom row. You're just going to leave the bottom row alone. But you're placing them pretty much here. Underneath that, you're placing a row of spruce planks that is pushed into this kind of wall by a block. Just like so. You may want to just bring down the white concrete here so it covers that up. But outside of that, you're pretty good to go. On the front wall and left wall in particular, you want to take that original row of white concrete and just extend it down by 2 rows. And again, I have the glass to get rid of, so I'm doing 3 rows, technically. Because I'm breaking 1 and placing 2. This is what I get for recording like things like this over multiple days, is you'll end up noticing at different segments my voice just explodes for no reason. Like, it's fine maybe for some, and then it goes out the drain or out the window. I don't know why. So you'll have this. Good lord. On the left side here, you want to, below the white concrete by a row, place just a purple concrete in this corner. You'll bring it right by 5. And then you'll essentially bring it all the way back along the length of this wall until you're in line with the edge of it, or maybe one before, depending on if you brought the corner down or not. It's important. Just like this. This will start to make more sense as we go along. It is a little weird right now. On the far end here, you will place, not in the corner of purple, but actually make sure it is a purple concrete, because it might not be. Okay, it is. You want to take not this furthest left purple, but one to the right, and bring it, I guess, back with 2 purple. You'll then bring pretty much the walls around this just down by 2. Just go in line with the purple, actually. That might be the best way to to explain it. Each white concrete around the, or in line with the purple's brought down by 2. Except for where the purple concrete is placed, you want a gap here. However, around that purple concrete in the wall, you're going to have the same thing, where you have a row of white concrete just above it a row, and then one more up. And you can also fill in the top here with the white concrete. This is one of those closets again. We'll make it later, or we'll, I guess, yeah, put the slabs and door in later, but that's pretty much all you need to know. So just below this top row of white concrete on the back wall here that is remaining, you want to not break your limestone glass grid, because you obviously have that. Why wouldn't you? I'm just kidding. But you want a row in the wall here, place a row of spruce planks again. Just like that. You'll then connect this, I guess, bottom row of white concrete together across, just leaving the spruce in the wall. These are, like, the weird... Why are these not aligned, actually? I'm just now realizing that. That's weird. But these are where the, like, floor comes out of that you have to parkour across. Yeah, I'm not sure why the other one isn't in line with that. That's weird. I don't know if that's a me thing or if it's a game thing, but regardless, it is, in fact, strange. So what you want to do from this point is you want to take all of your walls and extend them up with 3 rows of white concrete. These won't connect over the doorway on this side, they'll just go up to the same height, but yeah, everything else, I guess you'll kind of just do. We'll have to break into, like, 2 spots for something, but it's not a huge deal. Well, I guess 3 spots, right? Because there's the art on this wall. I guess, yeah, there's the art, and then there's the 2 lights. And then there's obviously the footprints, but we'll worry about those later, once we are in a position to where we have at least the bottom of the bottomless ball pit. Because you have to stop it somewhere. I guess in theory you could take it all the way down to, like, the bottom of the world, but that would be a little bit goofy. Anyway, you'll have this. Let's get situated with the gray concrete and the sea lanterns, at least as far as we can, without exploding anything. So up against the wall on both the right and left walls, which are the ones with the purple concrete below them, you're going to take the top white concrete and count it down by 1 and break moving across. Hold on, I'm really bad at math here. You will break across with 16 white concrete. 4, 5, 6... And I am going to confirm that it's the same. I'm pretty sure it's the same, but, like, with this game, you just never know. Yeah, it is. Just like so. On the first and last blocks, you can place a gray concrete, and in every other block, you can place a sea lantern. Just like that. And that gives you some moderate lighting, I guess. The ceiling is better lighting, though, allegedly. I don't know, I just work here. Not really. So you want to, first off, take the entire ceiling and just cover it in smooth quartz blocks, including over the doorway here. Both rows of it. I think it's both. Unless there's one that's light blue. No, it is both. I'm going to /fill command whatever the frick you want to call it this, because I'm not manually filling all of these blocks. It's just how it is. If I can make the tutorial 10 minutes shorter by doing this, and I'm going to make the tutorial 10 minutes shorter by doing this. And then I can just sneak in through the bottom here. Yeah, you'll have this. It's not too bad. This is where the true questionability of the designing exactly comes now. So if you find the doorway again, this is the front right-hand corner. I think it's kind of been, I guess, specified at this point. But you want to place a row of, or I guess a square of polished black stone brick slabs that is 1 off of the front and back, and 5 off of the left and right. So you see here there's 5 to the right, and there's just 1 in front. So I'll bring it all the way left until I see that there's 5. That would be 6 right there. So that's 5. And then I'll bring it back, and it's just gonna kind of just make it square. It might be a rectangle, it might be a square, I'm not really sure. It's something, it's some shape. But yeah, you'll have this with your, again, polished black stone brick slabs. I don't know, did I say upside down or not? I don't know, but either way, they're upside down. You'll then proceed to bring this in by 1 row on all sides, which will give you a slightly thicker square outline. Or cube, or rectangle, not cube. Good lord. This is definitely not a cube. It's a lot of things, but it's not a cube. So you'll have this. In the back right-hand and front left-hand corners, which would be this corner here, and obviously the opposite one, you will, if you're on the inner corner, you will just count either right or left a block to find the polished blackstone brick slab, and you will break it along with the smooth quartz block above it, and then place a polished blackstone brick in its place. You know, do the same in the front left again. So it doesn't look that much different, but this will make more sense later once we are doing the actual stuff in here. Now we can do the lighting. Sure. So the lighting is, how do I put it? Questionable. I'm going to give you the whole pattern, and then we're going to make the whole pattern, and then we're going to break some of them again, because I feel like that's the best way. Or could I just... I'll just give you the pattern for the first row, because the first row is perfect, and then I'll just tell you which ones are open and which ones aren't, and etc. So if you come to the front left-hand corner again inside, this time on the smooth quartz, you want to count right by 2 and back by 1 and break this smooth quartz along with 1 to the right. You'll then leave a gap of 2, break 2, gap of 2, break 2, gap of 2, break 2, and fill all these gaps in with sea lanterns. Now, yeah, I am going to just tell you which ones are blank, because I feel like that's smarter than breaking and placing the sea lanterns, and then removing the sea lanterns again for the blocks that we already had there. That just seems dumb. So you want to leave gaps of 2, and you're just going to keep placing rows of, I guess, quote-unquote 4 sea lanterns, but they're not all there. On this next row after the 2, it's just the left and right ones that are there. Then 2 block gap. Next row is full. Two block gap. Next row is missing just the far right sea lantern. 2 block gap. This one is missing not the left one, but one to the right from the left one, which is the one I just placed, actually. Whoopsies. So you'll have this going on right now. And then the final row is a full row again. Darn it. Yeah, that's a lot easier than anything else. So you'll have this, pretty much. I don't know what quite the logic behind this is, at least having the, I guess, like, I don't know, something there to resemble that there was a light that got broken or something would make more sense, but to each their own, I guess. Make patterns however you want. It almost is a bee, but not quite also. It's a really badly drawn bee. Looks like something I would write. Anyway, we have like 2 more things we can do with the inventory set. However, I am gonna probably exchange one material because it's something that's a part of something. Actually, a couple materials, because there's a couple things we can do that we have materials for right now. Yeah, we'll just kind of run around real quick. So, back right hand corner, you want to take this white concrete on the right wall and just kind of orient yourself so you're looking at the right wall like this. From this bottom corner, you'll count up 1 and right 1 and place a yellow terracotta right here. Above that yellow, a pink concrete. Right of that pink, a purple. Right of that purple, another pink. And then below that pink, you'll have a yellow terracotta. And above that pink, you'll have another pink. Right of that, a yellow terracotta. And then right of that, 2 smooth quartz blocks. Each of those smooth quartz blocks can be brought up by 1 each. That is, I want to say that's Opila, but I could be wrong. I'm not really sure. It looks like Opila, but also like it also looks like a horse or a donkey of some sort, something like that. Get rid of a couple things. Pink concrete, yellow terracotta, polished blackstone brick slabs, and I think that's all. And get out iron bars, polished deep slate block. Where is it? Oh, right, it's in stone. And mangrove sign. You can probably figure out what that's for. But that also is a weird step in general, so I don't know how I feel about it. So on this balcony in particular, you're going to place on at least the upper level a row of iron bars just off of the left of it, which will help it so you can't just walk straight off the edge to your doom. On the other side, you're going to leave the, like, front 6 purple concrete available, but the back ones beyond that, I want to make sure that was 6. The back ones beyond that will be iron barred on the right side this time. Like so. Just to the left of the back 2 iron bars on this side, you'll place purple concrete. Also on top of those iron bars, you'll do the same, and then you'll extend that purple to the right by 1. I'm not really sure what this is, to be honest. It's just a little ramp that is here for some reason. But from it, if you're on the white concrete above this, I guess, rightmost purple, you'll count right by 6 and up by 2 and place a polished deep slate. Off the left side of that polished deep slate, you want a mangrove sign. This is so you can, you know, shoot a drone from here. And then you'll place essentially white concrete on each kind of backside, almost giving it a mohawk. So you'll place a white concrete on top of the polished deep slate. Bring that white concrete right 1 and then down 1. And you'll have this. One more thing we can do with this set? No, 2 more actually, because I keep forgetting that there's gray concrete on the wall that we're pretty much at right now. So if you direct your attention to the left wall, which is this one, you'll head to the back left-hand corner and be on this white concrete. You'll count up 2 and forward 1, and you'll break this white. And then you'll break, I guess from this angle, you'll go down diagonally left, up diagonally left, down diagonally left, up diagonally left, and then down diagonally left 1 more time. So you'll have 6 blocks broken in total. You'll fill each of them with gray concrete. There are buttons below this, but we'll get to that later because that's like 49,000 inventory spaces. Not really, but it's a lot. Alright, last thing we can do before we clear inventory. On the sides here where you have the white concrete that just kind of is visible, you want to bring it down with 23 rows of white concrete. Now, if you can't have this many rows, that is completely fine. But, you know, the more the merrier, I guess. You could even go more than this if you so choose. And while you're doing this, make sure to also bring down the purple concrete on either side with the correct amount of white concrete. It should be 22 if I'm correct. But yeah, it should be 22. And just kind of make sure that you box everything off nice and well with the white concrete. What you can actually do as well, if you're a /fill connoisseur like I am, just head to a corner. Thanks for copying too. Head to a corner and be like, kind of, I guess, where your bottom half is in line with the bottom of white concrete, and copy that coordinate. And then you can come to two separate corners and make sure you're actually in the right spot. Ooh, wait, that is in the wrong spot anyway, so I need to do it here, but you'll just end up getting both this wall out of the way along with the other wall. You can, instead of just doing each wall separately, you can get two done at once, which is very nice. This will leave a row, probably, yeah, it's fine. And we'll worry about Opila's tracks in a second. I just kind of want to get everything else done first. I'll be here, sure, that's fine. See if I can get this right. I feel like that's correct, but I could be too high, I'm not really sure. Oh, I got it. There's a row, though, they got left, which is unfortunate, and then it would be here, I believe. Yeah, nice. That just makes everything a little bit quicker to do it that way. But yeah, you'll love this. Certainly turns this room into a bottomless pit. So I guess this is a good point to clear our inventory, because we have pretty much everything done as far as the walls and stuff are concerned, and get out. Black concrete. Pink, sorry, magenta terracotta, it's not pink. Alright, because pink is like red. Forgot about that. Black stained glass, which I'm just going to use a /fill command for, because this one's actually really easy, and if you don't do it this way, my head's going to explode. Actually, if I don't do it this way, my head's going to explode. Nether brick fence. Polished black stone slabs. Spruce trap doors. Spruce buttons. Why are there so many? And we need more than 2 materials. So I'll actually get out the dark oak door and smooth quartz slab. We're actually almost done. After this, it's literally just the buttons that are there. So first off, we'll start with the finishing off this bottomless pit here. A row below the bottom row of white concrete, you'll place a floor of black concrete. I'm actually going to manually fill this one in as I explain what's going on with the next step. So the next step is, if you remember the pit room in Poppy Playtime, the like big cylinder room with the layers of glass every other block, we're going to be doing that again. This one isn't as many though, and it's really just to have the darkness fade out. It would probably be better with some sort of texture pack or mod or something to make the glass a little bit more transparent, but it still works as is, and arguably you could have more rows down, or of, I guess, where the bottom is, so you have maybe the same amount of rows of black glass, just starting lower, but regardless, I think it works fine. You could even do tinted glass, although I'm pretty sure tinted glass just gets too dark too quick, because every other layer of glass kind of makes the light just slowly fade out as opposed to going out immediately. So the way you should do this is you take a corner and you do Control-Alt-C, whatever that is obvious, and then you head to the opposite corner, and you pretty much just have to go up one row at a time. And I have, again, it's starting from, actually it's not starting from the bottom, it's a row above the black glass the first row starts. And from this point you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of these. So I'm just thinking, hold on. We may want to do Opila's tracks first as well, because I'm just now realizing that those go all the way down, and, you know, placing those through the glass might not be smart. So I'll show you how to do those really quickly. We'll come back to this. Sorry for the quick change. I just you know, it is probably easier this way. So if you are on the front wall here, you'll be directly next to the door on this top white concrete. You'll count down diagonally over by 1 and break this white concrete. You then count down 2, and from this angle it'll be right 1, break, then down 2, left 1, break, down 2, right 1, break, down 2, left 1, break, etc. You're going to keep this pattern going until you reach the bottom. And yeah, then you'll fill all these gaps with magenta terracotta. I might have said pink a second ago, but it's magenta. Just like that. So anyway, back to the glass. If you just place a block here and stand in this corner, you'll copy that. Opposite corner, and then you'll do slash fill 3 tildes. Copy the other coordinate, and then do black underscore stained underscore glass. And if you want, just as a precaution to do keep, you can. I'm gonna. Like so, and then bam. And then what you can do is just literally stay in this corner. Place a block at your feet, stand on it, break it just so you don't have to go back down and break it, and then do the same command again. Just kidding. You have to do, you have to change the Y coordinate. I'll explain that in a second. I just need to get rid of this one row that I accidentally just placed. Wait, I just did that wrong. I'm at 22, not 21. So again, place block at your feet, break it, and then you'll change it to whatever your current Y coordinate is, which mine is now -19, so I'll make that Y, which is the middle one, -19, and then do it, except not with air, with black stained glass, like I should. And then you'll do 17, and again, you want, what did I say? I forget how many I said. Is it like 5 rows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of this. So I'm at like 3 or 4. I'm at 4 right now. So then I'll do 1 here, making sure I change that Y coordinate. And then I need 1 more. That was a struggle because I'm dumb, but we got there. It's okay. So yeah, you'll be pretty much like roughly that far. It doesn't have to be exactly what I have, but I guess the closer the better, or the closer the merrier, or whatever. Not really a huge deal. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of finish off this side and then use it as a transition to go over to that side and do everything over there. We'll start with the spruce buttons on this side because these are random. If you literally walk into the doorway at the start of this room, you'll turn to the right and be on this row of white concrete on the corner here. On the back side of the block, just above eye level, which is actually in line with the sea lanterns on that one wall, you'll place a spruce button. If you head all the way to the back wall, you'll be on the bottom right white concrete, and count up diagonally left by 1 and place a spruce button. From that one, you'll count left by 3 and place another. Now this is going to be our transition point here, the little seat thing. So from each of those polished blackstone bricks that we placed earlier that are kind of inside of these squares, you'll place 4 nether brick fence going down. Below each one, you will place a spruce trap door that is opened to the right. It will in fact mean that the nether brick fence does not hold this up, but it's fine, whatever. There's, I think, bigger things to be concerned about in this build. But regardless, you know, that is something. But it looks good from, like, the front angle if you just don't look at the fact that it doesn't connect. You'll then bring that spruce trap door, I guess, not left and right, but forward and backward by 1 each with spruce trap doors that are open the same way. Just like this. Bring each of those 3 spruce trap doors to the right with polished blackstone slabs. And then below those polished blackstone slabs, you'll place more spruce trap doors. I'm just going to do this, actually. There we go, that's easy. And that will give you this seat design. It's pretty easy. I do find it a little bit peculiar. Ignoring the endless pit, the fact that this seat doesn't rotate at all and it just faces the wrong way. Like, what do I have to do? Some, like, crazy backflip to just go to my the other side? I don't understand. Anyway, there is actually another spruce button on this side, because I've learned we can't escape them. You want to take the furthest right front purple concrete here. You'll count left by 2, and then you'll just go up the wall to the second white concrete, where you'll place the spruce button. Directing our attention to the doorway over here, you probably know the drill already. You'll place inside of this, or in front of either of these 2 white concrete, an upside down smooth quartz slab, and then in front of that, a dark oak door. One thing left. Clear your inventory and get out a bunch of buttons. The ones you need in order are mangrove, birch, warped, cherry, and then you'll end up needing warped again, and then acacia, but I'm just telling you that so you can literally just place the order. So below this front gray concrete, you'll place a mangrove button, and then again going back, you'll place birch, warped, cherry, warped, and then acacia. And once you have done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is your Garten of BanBan 1 map complete. That was fun, I guess. Not too bad, honestly. That's like about the length of a bigger FNAF map, like sister location. I'm just making sure that everything is actually here, because God forbid I miss something small and everyone explodes. I would also explode, to be fair. I shouldn't miss anything. But anyway, yeah. Thank you guys so much if you guys did enjoy this video. Can't believe this was one part, unlike the Poppy Playtime 10-parter. Anyway, have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.